Yeah, use an extra sum on there.
All right,
That code.
got your note cards out and your practice, I hope. Let's get going on this. And take a few notes and go through a couple problems. Number 1, or actually number 11 is where we're at, elimination. Remember elimination, you need to get the same number, different signs, and then add straight down. Well, I've set this one up pretty, haven't I? Pretty? It's ready to eliminate the y's. So your y's, you have -3 and +3. Same sign, okay, different signs. Adding straight down, 3x and 1x give me 4x. Adding straight down, 9 and 7 give me 16. Divide by 4. Your x is 4. So there is part of your solution. Remember, this is a coordinate on the Cartesian coordinate system where these two linears cross, isn't it? It looks like the easiest one to plug in might be this guy right here because x is 4. So if I put 4 in for x plus 3y equals 7, I will minus 4. I'm going to get 3y equals 3, so my y ends up being +1. Elimination. Same number, different signs, and you add straight down. We did quite a few of those, didn't we? So we should feel pretty comfortable. Is everybody okay with that? Number 11. Note takers. Of course, you can always go back and watch the video. Next is system of inequalities. This is going to be, we're going to need a Cartesian graph here. We're going to try to find the true side of these guys. So we'll go with blue for this first one right here. Now I've already set them up pretty easily. They're already mx plus b, aren't they? Okay, which helps. So our intercept here on this first one is +2. So we're going through a +2. My slope is -3/1, so down 3. 1, 2, 3 over 1 puts us in this territory here. I look, it's just less than, so I know this is going to be a dotted line. We've done quite a few of these also. We've already did one earlier, I think, on the assessment, was the single. Now this is a double. So we're going to shade what they have in common. This is a system of linear inequalities. Got to find out which side's true. So we're going to test this side over here, this bottom side with 0, 0. We put 0 in for y, put 0 in for x. I'll have that statement right there. Is 2 greater than 0 or 0? Yes, it is. So this side is the true side coming this way. I'm just going to give myself a little letter, a couple things there because I want to do the next one to see what's going on with that. So -1 is my intercept, which would be down here, right here, -1. And it is +4. So up 4, 1, 2, 3 over, up 4 over 1 puts us in this territory right here. This is a solid line. Again, we can use zeros. Plugging in 0 for y and 0 for x, we're getting at is 0 greater? Is 0 bigger than -1? Well, yes, it is. So the green is true this way. Of course, your assessment, you're only going to shade what they have in common, which would be this area here. I wonder what does that mean? That means that those x and y coordinates in that area, those x and y coordinates in that area would solve this solution. Everybody okay with 12? Questions at all? 13, moving on. 13 is pretty straight up for us. We should be able to handle adding matrices. All right, remember, how do we add those? Well, we're going to end up with the same size and just get the common spots or the address of each added. So 4 and 6, put them in the same address. 10, -7 and 2 gives me -5. 4 and 1 gives me 5. 8 and -9 gives me -1. 7 and 4 gives me 11. -4 and 0 gives me -4. That one is pretty straight up and easy. Remember, these are still multiple choice down through 19. Matrix equation, which brings to mind, there'll be no phone calculators on the assessment, okay? Cannot use your phone as a calculator on the assessment. Matrix equation, matrix A will be our coefficients, -3, -4, 9 and 10. Make sure you use your negative button and not the subtraction when you put that in your matrix. And again, it is multiple choice, so am I gonna be able to tell what you're using? No, you can always go substitution elimination if you can't remember. 9 here, -3. Remember, you're gonna say A inverse times B, and it'll pop out with your X value here and your Y value here. I'm not sure what the answer is, it was like 11, 12.
13 to -12.
Yeah, 13, -12 sounds right. Did you get that down on the key I had down there too?
What?
13 for X
Yeah.
and -12 here?
Yeah.
I think that's right. $15. We're getting into max and minimum. This parabola opens up because your A is positive, so we're looking at a min. And we need to find the Y value of the vertex. So we're gonna find the axis of symmetry first. We have -b, and it's a -2, so it's gonna end up being +2/2, which is 1. We need to plug 1 back into that, so we have to find f of 1. So 1 is the x value of my vertex. So I'm plugging in 1. I'm going to have 1 squared minus 2 times 1 minus 6. 1 squared would be 1. Minus 2 would be -1. Minus 6 would be -7. So I do have a minimum at -7. -7 is my minimum. Domain, as we've stated, domain x such that x equals all the reals. Range, y such that y is going to be what? Well, since this is opens up, it needs to be greater than or equal to the y value of the vertex, which is -7. We've done a few of those, haven't we? Should feel comfortable with that, even if you aren't paying attention and looking at your cell phone. All right, 16 and 17 are really basically the same thing. Find the zeros or find the roots. Get them factored and see what's going on. Okay? So this one does say by factoring. It is a multiple choice, so how am I gonna know? I'm not. Figure out how to get the roots, but it is an easy factor. This one is x plus 3, x plus 20. You can complete the square if you want, you can do quadratic, just get the roots. But it does say factor, I set it up so it's easy to factor. Now, it does say find the zero, so the zeros are gotta set those equal, 0 is -20 it crosses at, and the other one is -3. Make sure you solve for those. You do need to solve for those. All right, number 17, need to get it in standard form, which it is not. So we have 5x squared. I'm gonna bring the 30 over, it's gonna be minus 30x. Bring the 45, it's gonna be plus 45. Set it equal to 0. So we gotta get that other stuff that changes the signs. I'm gonna divide everything by 5 now. If I divide everything by 5, I'm gonna get x squared minus 6x plus 9 still equal to 0. Now that looks like a much easier factoring job now, doesn't it? Okay? In fact, it's a special one. Anybody see it? It's a perfect square trinomial. Okay, and it factors to x minus 3 and x minus 3. So we are set equal to 0. We are finding roots, so we got to solve yet. So what is x equal to? Positive 3. $18. This one should be a simple problem, but students fail to do a couple things here. Don't be one of those, okay? Take this guy, say x equals 6, x equals -8, bring the 6 over, becomes minus 6, bring the 8 over, becomes positive 8. And now you're down to algebra 1. Boy. X times x, x squared, plus 8x, minus 6x, minus 48. Completing that, we're going to put it in, add those middle terms, which are like. And there is my function of x with those as its roots. Now, 19, make yourself a note, please, on 19. What's 19? That's already done for you. What do I have on this side of the equation on 19?
Perfect square.
It's a perfect square trinomial, folks, okay? So don't be trying to do anything other than factor the perfect square trinomial and simplify. So make sure you make yourself a note on 19. It's already set up for me. It's supposed to be easy. It's going to be x minus 5 squared is equal to 54. Now we're taking the square root of both sides. We're going to have x minus 5 equals plus or minus square root of 54. I'm going to simplify square root of 54. I got to see if there's anything that comes out of there. And it's 9 times 6. 9 is a perfect square. So now we're down to x minus 5 equals plus or minus 3 square roots of 6, right? 9 times 6. Almost done. Just take the 5 over. Going to be positive 5 on this side, plus or minus 3 square roots of 6. Some irrational solutions to that quadratic. completing the square. It's all done for you. You didn't have to do much. Make sure you make a note on 19, that's the way it is. And that, my friend, is the end of the multiple choice. So let's do the last one for today. And that is number 20. Solve by completing the square. Okay, so we're going to get the x on one side. We're going to bring this negative 2x over, so it's going to become positive. We're going to leave some space. We're going to leave that 3 on that side. So that's step 1 of completing the square. Get your x squared and your x on one side. Now, middle term is, of course, 2. Half would be 1. Squaring would be 1. There is my perfect square trinomial, isn't it? It's going to end up being x plus 1 squared equal to bad golf shot 4. Taking the square root of both sides, x plus 1 equals plus or minus 2. Take the x over negative 1 plus or minus 2. Now, I'm not sure how, I think I wrote it out. You had to finish it because your answers, no, this is, I'm sorry. I'll take that. This is the start of the extended response. So you don't have to worry about what my answer looks like on A, B, C, D. So if you leave it like that, I'm fine. You don't need to go any further. You don't need to say x is negative 3 and x is positive 1. I'm fine with that. Does everybody understand that? So we're starting the extended response now, which we will take on Thursday, and the multiple choice on Friday. We'll review the rest of the extended response tomorrow, and you should be ready for the assessment. Thank you.